Okay, this dream has been on my mind constantly for the last 2 weeks, and just today I saw someone posted a very similar vision, and so now I'm going to share this for sure. So this is what I saw. I saw this from many years ago, but what I saw was this picture of Jesus. So in the upper right here, this is supposed to be Jesus. Sometimes when I see angels in a dream, their face and their hands are just light. So that's what I'm trying to represent in this sketch. So now you see this line that leads up to Jesus. The people on that line were people who kept their eyes constantly on Jesus. So these are people who are always looking toward Jesus. And then you see kind of three people here. There were more in the dream, many more, but this is representative. So these three people, they're people who were, sometimes looking toward Jesus, but more than the people who are further away. So the people who are further away from the beginning of this line, they were people who less frequently would look toward Jesus. Okay, so that was the first scene. Now, then suddenly, and this happens really, really rapidly, just like boom, and it just something. The dream never showed what it was, but it was something like an explosion, something that happens. It has a huge impact, and it happens very rapidly. And then what happens is the people on this line. See, so I show these black arrows here on the left. Some people then just go away. They just disappear from the scene. I don't know but I'm pretty sure that they just went away from Jesus. Jesus wasn't the solution for them. So these were some kind of lukewarm, stagnant Christians, sometime Christians, maybe Testament-only Christians. Yeah, I'm a Christian, they would say, but it doesn't affect their life in any way. So these people, they just went away. But others that were somewhat closer, they were more likely to then get in the line. And in the end, what I saw was many more people in the line with their eyes constantly on Jesus, but then there were no lukewarm people around. So these people that were the sometime, holiday Christians, they were not anywhere to be seen. I don't know what became of them. The dream didn't show. So that's the whole dream. Just these three major scenes. The people either looking on Jesus or sometimes looking on Jesus, and the distance in the picture meant much less so. Greater distance meant they weren't looking toward Jesus. Then something happened. Now, God's wanting me to share this now to encourage people to look toward Jesus. I've been seeing this other, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's recognized this. Sometimes God will start talking to you about something, and then suddenly you'll see like a dozen other Christians are sharing a very similar message because God is downloading it to people everywhere around the same time because it's about to be important, or it's important right now. And this other message I've been seeing is, hey, tell people now. Tell people the truth now, because later there's going to be so much deception, they're not going to receive it. So we're not waiting until we can see the tribulation already underway. We're going out to get people now. You need to go out and get people now. Oh, you know what? The other thing, I just saw this testimony about apparently John Wayne, the famous actor, got saved just 3 weeks before he died. And he had written a letter to this girl. She lost her leg. And she wrote to him and said, you know what, the most important thing is are you saved or not? So it would be a shame to get to heaven and John Wayne wasn't there. And John Wayne received the letter at a dinner party, and he read it, and he accepted Jesus. So you never know. And I've heard this testimony, and I've experienced it in my life. You meet someone you haven't seen in 9 years, you lead them to Christ, and a few months later they're dead. My own grandfather, I went and saw him 1 week before he died. And I had the urgency of the Holy Spirit. And I asked him, have you ever made a personal commitment to Christ? He said, no, I never have. And so I led him to make a commitment, to make that declaration. So there is an importance, and the Holy Spirit will lead us to get people to make that commitment. So many other things. So in this time, everybody understands we're receiving so many warnings. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Be in constant communion. If he wants you to do something, you'll understand it if you always have your eyes on Jesus. If you have this constant communion, right? Always leaning into Jesus. Jesus, what's going on? What's going on? Holy Spirit, teach me about this. I don't understand this. So please, Keep your eyes on Jesus, because something is going to happen at some point in the future, and many people, lukewarm people, people who don't have a personal relationship, a close personal, they're going to go away. Some people who were maybe a little bit sketchy, maybe straddle the fence, they're going to quickly get back in line because it's going to be important, right? We're going to see this. That's what I saw at the end of the dream. So Jesus, he remains in the same place the whole time, but something happens and people draw near to Jesus. So this is the man from Modesto reminding you, as always, to pray or be defeated. Keep your eyes on Jesus, friends.